Wonderful. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Planning and Licensing this evening on the 20th of August. We'll kick off with apologies, Duncan.
Yeah, certainly. We have apologies from Councillors Williamson, Adlam and Morris this evening.
Wonderful, thank you.
Councillor Trimble also apologised. She is a substitute, but we just may as well note that.
That's fine, thank you. Interest, yes, I do have an interest in application 5 with Mr. Blackburn, so I'll step out of the room in a minute and then Sandy can chair the meeting. Meeting management issues, I don't think we have any of those. Minutes. We have two sets of minutes. I've looked through them and have no issues, so I'm quite happy to propose both of them. Second them. All in favour of the minutes? Wonderful, thank you. Any matters of arising from the minutes? I didn't see anything. No, wonderful. Okay, right. Open session for electors, and we have Mr. Blackburn in the room, so I think we need to. It's application 5. So, are you going to speak, John? Yeah, you're going to speak. So I'm going to step over to the room now and hand over to Sandy, and then you'll need to move it up the agenda, Sandy, and do that. Okay. Sandy's capable hands.
Okay, Mr. Blackman, away you go.
I'm John Blackburn. I'm here today to seek your support for a planning application to remove a existing rickety old conservatory that's overlooked by the neighbours behind, and it doesn't open out into a garden or anything like that. It opens onto a road behind. To replace it with a single-storey extension, if you like. It's going to be tiny, it's going to be small. It'll be roughly the same footprint of the conservatory. In fact, actually, it'll be coming in slightly. I've had support from the neighbours. No one's objected it. I've got some letters of support on the planning application portal for it. Yeah, you can see it up on the screen there. It's not in the back garden at all. The storms that we've just had recently demonstrated how fragile it is. It's shaking about in the wind. I'm losing heat energy from it in winter. It's costing me a fortune with energy bills going up. A more permanent structure would seek to sort of seal that in, if you like. Not only that, there's a report also on the planning application portal about water damage. At the minute, I don't know why this was ever built like it was. There's no downpipe, so everything comes off the roof onto the conservatory and then collects into a water butt. If I'm at work or anywhere and I don't get to empty it, it goes out onto the ground around and is starting to seep into the building. So the conservatory itself is starting to get cracks in it and started to affect the retaining wall at the back there. I've had a report done by Vibrock. They've sort of given a rough area of where that they think the damage will be. It's not quite, maybe a sinkhole, they don't really know, but it's seeping through. It's going underneath the houses, my house, the neighbouring, and that road behind, really. So, just to summarise, really, I'm just seeking your support so I can really get rid of this old mouldy conservatory and place it with something that's going to be a more permanent structure, keeping with the area, and, more energy efficient. Okay.
Councillor Kenny.
We're not discussing it, so I can't say anything. When you say that you have a water butt and it always gets filled up, are you going to replace the water runoff while collecting the water off the conservatory in any way?
The neighbouring property, the one that joins on, has a downpipe and goes down into a drain alongside the house. That drain is on my property as well, on my thing, but for whatever reason, they never put the pipe. You can see there, rather than the pipe going down into that drain, it goes straight out onto the conservatory and into a water butt, which is bizarre. Why they built it like that, I don't know. So the design would be downpipe into the existing sort of gully way into the front drain, just as it is.
You're not going to try and collect the water in any way? Because Sarah's here, she'd be saying that.
If I had a garden, I don't own the grass around. It's what to do with that water once I've collected it. Really, I do occasionally water the plants around it, but that's not my responsibility. That area of land. In an ideal world, yes, collect the water, garden, but for that property, for that scale, it's just not feasible.
It's got a slightly sloping roof.
Yeah.
And is it going to be square?
Yes, it's going to be level, so I can stand up actually, and the far end that slopes down, I can't really stand up in it too much without catching my head. So it'll be a level roof, but it will come in slightly more. It won't be.
So it'll be slightly taller, but
smaller. Yeah, slightly taller. It won't be any taller than it is now at its tallest point. If you look at the plans, yeah, you can see it is sunken down there.
Just to shortcut the looking at it. So you've got support, you say, from your neighbours.
So I've been round and asked them. They know it's happening. None of them have objected. I haven't, when I last looked at the portal, I've had some letters of support in favour of it. I have asked for them to write in, to write a letter of support, but I can't force them to do it. They've just said no, but it's fine.
And we'll look at this in detail when the planning comes to it, but are you creating any new views? I mean, I know that you've obviously got windows there at the moment. But...
So there'll be a window the side that we're facing now, and there'll be a row of sort of frosted windows, or I think on the design it's actually a big window at the back. Yes, yeah. And then a skylight at the top to let light in. Yeah.
So can we just carry on that? The big window is going to look out onto it's the road, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And there'll be a window.
Where there already is one.
Yes, where there's window. There's not going to be any new windows in places where there isn't. In fact, it's all glass all the way around. I've put curtains around just for a bit of privacy, really. Just because it is at street level, everybody walking by does have a peer in, just because that's what people do.
Although people don't tend to come into Beach Walk unless they actually live there, do they?
No. But there are people that so delivery drivers and friends and families and guests that come to those houses.
So just to talk about the original one, you didn't build that. That was added on after the house was built in the 80s. It wasn't built like that. And obviously the downpipe, when somebody put that on, they just didn't continue it down. Can I just ask, do you know if there's been a previous planning application? Because we've had an application for something on that property or next door at some stage. I do remember it.
Yeah. So I applied for a 2-storey one, which probably was ambitious. I thought if I'm going to pull down that conservatory, could I go for a 2-storey if it's getting done? The neighbours did reject that idea. They weren't in support of that. So I've gone instead for a 1-storey. They're a lot more in agreement with that, and I've taken on board some of their views in terms of the design of the 1-storey.
Okay, yeah. So thank you. I just felt like I didn't know if anybody else remember it coming in. Can anybody else remember it? I do vividly remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a 2-storey extension applied for on that footprint. It was objected to by this committee. It was refused by Cornwall Council. It was actually taken to appeal, but it was dismissed by the inspector.
Yeah, and just to answer your question, no, I mean the house is probably older than I am slightly, because I didn't build that conservatory on there. If it comes away or falls apart, I've got a huge hole in the kitchen there. But it sort of was the only house I could afford in the town that I work in, if you know what I mean. Then, Yeah, yeah, and it's a great name because Sarah knows I'm into wildlife. So yeah, Cornish Chuff is a great name. Yeah. Thank you.
Questions? I'd like to propose.
Because I'm looking at the site, if I may.
So at the minute, yeah, there's a table and chairs in there, and like a reading chair as well, if you like. And in reality, it's become a dumping ground at the minute because it's too cold to sit in and too hot in winter, and everybody can watch me in there as well. The idea is to put that same table chair back in, and just so it's a usable space. Yeah. So I can use it as a space, absolutely.
I'd like to propose we move this up the agenda. Could I have a seconder, please? Show of hands. Thank you.
No. Rewind, Margaret. Rewind. I forgot we were going straight into.
No. Right.
You like that bit of the rewind?
Can I have general thoughts on this?
Perhaps Dan can want to present it.
Yeah, perhaps they ought to. I might just have to restart my computer because for some reason none of the PDFs are. All right, let's just. What is going on with this? Can you just? I really.
Start talking about it.
Yes, I really do apologise. I will do this as quickly as I possibly can.
Happily start talking about it without the present. You can't see anything too. I mean, it's not on the main road. It's tucked away in Beach. Well, it's Cornish Chuff, isn't it? But it's tucked away into Beach Road. All of his neighbours seem to be in support. It's slightly smaller than it was before. I think there's not a lot to say about it.
And the neighbours seem to be in support of it.
Yeah, you've got four positive public comments. I think you'll see on page. Let me see. Where are we?
What's impressive is they're all on different dates as well. This is always impressive. So.
Yeah. I just want to double check that there wasn't any other comment. Right, so South West Water had noted that there were no surface water strategy details provided.
I think that's the only thing I don't like about it, because I appreciate what David is saying about it doesn't have gardened water, but it's a shame not to collect the, but it's not enough to object really.
Yeah, I think because of the footprint of the property is so small, I think, to be honest, the thing that's on my mind is the drainage going to be successful? And because at the moment it seems like water ingress is a problem. So I'm a bit more concerned about the property or the neighbour's property to make sure that it's going to be sound. If that isn't the building strategy, then all well and good.
So would you?
I had just a quick question, Duncan, but I don't know whether you're...
Only in terms of, so there's no pre-application advice or anything like that. Obviously, Mr. Blackburn has learnt from his previous application, which was for a two-storey structure, and clearly it's gone through the verification team, so everything is there that needs to be there.
Yeah, so something
okay.
Already as well.
I'm going to rejoin the meeting. I do apologise about this. Yeah, no, it is. It's for all to see. Right, so let me just see where we were with this. Right, so if we... There's really only sort of one point that I wanted to make with this, to be honest, which was... It was just a comparison of the existing and the proposed. I think if we zoom in a little on the east elevation, which is the rear elevation, so that's your existing, that's your proposed. The red line marks the outline of the existing, so you can see that there's not a huge amount of difference. There's a lot less fenestration. If we look at the north elevation, which is the side that's adjoining the attached property, the other half of the semi-detached, there are no windows pointing in that direction. The side that's facing out towards the green grass, you've got a door and a small window there. You'll note it's a flat roof with a parapet, and if I can just show you the floor plan quickly, because it might have seemed like there wasn't much in the way of fenestration, but there's quite a decent sized roof light behind that flat roof parapet. Okay, so that's where the light source will be from now.
Just to say, I'm not great with, shadows. It won't cast a shadow. I'm not good with north, south, east.
No more so than the existing. That question might be answered most easily by looking at the street view. Is this the area that you meant?
So I was thinking about the other wall, actually, the one around the back. Yeah. Is there current access, and will there be? Because it comes right up close, isn't it? Can you kind of get in for access and maintenance?
You could not.
I don't know if we've got. I don't know if we've got a plan that would actually. There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got a minimum. You've got a minimum half. 500 mil gap. So you would be able to get in there to do any maintenance if you wanted to paint it, etc.
Actually on a slope, or do we?
As I say, it is a flat roof. It is described as a flat roof behind a parapet. There.
How does it drain?
So we've got a drain pipe that goes down.
Yeah, I mean, I think any comment that you do return needs to acknowledge the fact that South West Water are possibly looking for more information regarding the management of any surface water.
Yeah.
I don't think that we've got that information as part of the application.
I mean, is there a proposal for how that works, the drainage on the
The parapet roof is effectively going to, you're going to have a this will sound strange, a floor on the roof that has sides around it.
Yeah,
potentially water is going to fill up. So I'm not really certain, and I suspect that that's probably one for a building control issue anyway.
Ask the question to say
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, building control won't allow it to be built, you know, in the fashion that we're concerned about.
To draw some
So what are we thinking?
Well, I'm happy to make a proposal. Probably no objection because we're not clear how the drainage.
On that point, yeah.
Is the drainage is working from the flat roof. But other than that, I can see none. And also, I think picking up on the point, and some reassurance that the adjacent property is not affected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we a second?
That's just all about drainage solutions that are in line with people's requirements.
Well, I'm happy.
I can have a second bit, although we're interested in no objection, but it's a good build. I think it's an improvement on what we've got at the moment.
Well, you could say support. I wouldn't mind saying support subject to.
Yeah, I think support will be fair with the comments we've got.
It's going to improve the street scene. It's not going to be much more of a footprint with that much more. And it's an improvement on the previous application.
Okay, so I'll say subject support, but subject to just some reassurance on
Yeah,
Second that.
I'm happy to second that.
Right. Show of hands. Right. Thank you.
Right, okay, welcome back from me. Going back to the agenda, do we need to vote on that? No? Yes? No, we don't. No, right, okay. Active consultations, Duncan.
Happy to say this week, none.
Yay! Well done. To discuss and make a decision on licensing matters, so we've got AI, we've got Hello, Unit 6 on Tour Road, which is in the old vegetable hub. Let's put it that way. I knew it from Rose, from Rose, and it was Bristol Fruit Sales, and then Rachel Chris used to have it. So, yeah. Duncan.
Okay, right, so it's an application for a alcohol licence under the Licensing Act. The only licensable activity applied for is the retail supply of alcohol. The description of the premises goes as follows. It is a secure warehouse with no gas or heating or insulation. It is used to pack Cornish postal hampers. We are not open to the public. We are an e-commerce business that would like to include bottles of ales, ciders and beers within our hamper boxes for over 18s to purchase through our website. The website will have an age verifier we send throughout the UK. In terms of their opening hours, they wouldn't appear to be open to the public, but they will be operating between the hours of 9 in the morning and 5 in the evening, and they've given the same hours for the retail supply of alcohol, and that is obviously, given the nature of the building, off sales only. Looking at the conditions, the key conditions for an e-commerce business relate to how they operate a Challenge 25 policy at the other end. We're told that the website requires proof of age when the purchase is made, so that's half the job done, and couriers are instructed not to leave hampers that include alcohol with anybody under 18, and they carry out ID checks. the civilian police licensing officer has confirmed that she has no issues with this one. I wouldn't have thought crime and disorder with a Cornish hamper is that likely, but I did make the point of asking her anyway, because I know that you all appreciate her opinion. That is your application. I can quickly show you the. Assuming that my computer is working, I can quickly show you the premises plan. Not that it adds too much to our understanding of the application, but we might need to make that slightly smaller even.
So I'm surprised that an e-commerce has to come through the normal licensing.
Well, that's the only way that you can sell alcohol. Through the Licensing Act. So yes. It's wholly about the 4 licensing objectives. Right. Anything else would be covered by other legislation. Yeah. So. It's not our remit. That's what it's saying. It's not indeed. Yeah, indeed.
Are we happy that the age verification proposal meets the required standards?
I think if the police are happy with that, then yeah. I mean, it's pretty standard for online.
Yeah, so there'll be some kind of software and some kind of protocol that is in existence already, and they'll be following that.
That is what the application tells us. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Well, there we go. That's it.
I have no issues with this for making a. Thank you. Representation needed. I'm not doing well with words today. No representation needed on that. So seconder for that. Yeah, all in. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
The poor workers in this building with no heating, no.
They will have some heating though, won't they? Plug in heaters. What they need is they've got central heating.
Got a lot of fridges.
And then the second one was the licensing update from the street trading review. So Cornwall Council's response to us. Well done, Duncan. Gold star.
Yeah, that's where are we? I think I've only just had it back today, but I think that you've hopefully you've seen Cornwall Council's response to us, some of which they've taken on board, some of which they haven't. They are going to sort of make it a little bit clearer about the European Service Directorate. I don't think we were the only people who've sort of commented why is European law being used in this, but it is actually enshrined in British law, and they've made that a little clearer. They did want to keep their licensing direct information at the front, and and they have tried to make it a little bit more user-friendly at the beginning. Basically, I think we wanted them to explain a little more to potential applicants why there needs to be regulation. Yeah. And I think that they've addressed that. Yeah. It seems I had a look at the whole document. There were quite a few town councils, few individuals responded, and it all seemed quite promising. It goes to a licensing committee some point in September, I think now. And hopefully it will go through without too many issues, and we'll have an improved street trading policy document to work from the future.
Brilliant, thank you, Joanna.
Just to clarify, when they say the directive is enshrined in British law, does that mean that British law recognises the EU directive, or does it mean that somewhere or other there's another British there is a law, a British law that repeats what it says? Because that's what people tend to ask me. Where can I find it in British law?
So when we left the EU, the UK adopted everything, and then have been picking stuff out. But it has been adopted. It is British law.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
From that, that was EU law.
But
So
is there a reference to what act we should be looking for? Or are they just saying we've adopted it?
I think it's just that we've adopted it. I don't know, Duncan, you might prove me wrong.
I spent far too much time trying to find the bit of legislation, and I could not. All that I could find was that it was this stuff was enshrined into UK law. I don't think that.
I think they've taken it lock, stock, and barrel, and they haven't changed its name.
Yeah,
that's right.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Which seems a bit unfortunate for those who wanted a clean break, but there you go.
Okay, on that thought. Number 9, previous planning application decisions.
Sorry, I've got a couple of more updates on the licensing.
Oh, okay,
stuff.
sorry.
Should be on IBABS.
I've got street trading review.
Yeah, street
Okay.
trading review.
Okay. Oh, it hasn't got.
So because that's what I said, and you came back with the license, and that was what you've just talked about, isn't it? I haven't got anything else beyond that.
Oh, I do apologise. There should
Yeah.
Sorry, there should be an update about the Rum Sailor. I've got an update about the Rum Sailor, Barrow Boys, and Sahara City.
It's on our agenda.
I had seen that. I've seen
Oh.
that stuff.
That was in August the 5th minutes, I think, I saw it.
Was it in the minute?
Do you mind if I just?
I could be
God,
wrong.
we're not doing very well here, are we?
But I can't see it.
Licensing updates.
Licensing you've got.
We needed to ratify that. So,
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
sorry.
And we need to ratify that because we agreed our response outside this meeting.
Okay. So yeah, I'm happy to ratify that. Seconder. Yep. Sandy, yeah, all in favour? Yes. No, that's wonderful. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought it was just an update. I didn't realise we had to ratify it. But that's all I've got. I'm not seeing.
Are you looking?
LA3 grant, the Rum Sailor Crowd Park, but we haven't got any words reported as far as I can see.
No, because I was going to give you a verbal. I was going to give you a verbal update, and
I haven't got that heading. I'm really sorry. Where?
You have to click licensing updates, I think.
But it's not a clickable thing for me on mine.
Are you using the app or the browser?
I'm using the browser.
Right, because that's what's on the screen at the moment. What's on the browser?
I'm yeah.
Anyway, don't worry.
So,
it
yeah,
is
I
there.
haven't-
It is
okay.
there, and it was there for everybody, for the public to see.
Okay.
We might have a word with Will about that, though. In terms of the Rum Sailor at Prow Park, I'll try and be as brief as I can with this. The Town Council's initial objection to this premises licence dates from the 11th of June. Further information was provided by the applicant, but we had agreed to maintain our stance because there were a number of things that we were unhappy with. I've been in touch with the licensing manager to discuss our concerns. It's been a while before anyone's got back to me, but one of our key concerns was the plans, if you recall. We've now had a response from the licensing team manager, which I'd just like to quickly go through. First of all, the applicant has agreed to some conditions with public protection noise officers, which both make sense. It's to do with noise from the premises. If you recall, they wanted films on their licence, and there are some conditions, slightly technical sound conditions, that are there to prevent a noise nuisance being occurring. Although it is an industrial estate, so there's not, well, normally you'd say there's nobody living there, but this is an industrial estate where people do live. And there's also a condition regarding the movement of bottles and glassware, because that can be quite a noisy thing, and there's a time restriction on that. The inside plan, this folder is empty, brilliant. The inside plan, sorry, I'll just have to find that elsewhere, as it should be there. It is not. We had concerns about the inside plan, partly because the premises boundary and the areas for licensable activity appear to include other businesses, plus the decking downstairs and the decking upstairs. When you're looking at this plan, it appears that the first floor decking is much smaller. It isn't. It has the same footprint as the ground floor decking as well. So there are a few issues with the plans there. This matter of licensing the floor space of other businesses is just, it's one of the strangest things I've ever seen, and we are being told that that is absolutely fine. The officer says, whilst I note your concerns, the other businesses would not be able to sell alcohol from their premises. Well, they actually absolutely would, because this is an area that has been, if this were sort of granted, it's licensed. So I've no idea how they're saying, oh, they wouldn't be able to, because you've got a set of plans that say they would be able to. The initial reason that we were told for including the neighbouring shipping container was that customers could walk into that business holding their glass of beer that they'd bought from the rum sailor. But the consumption of alcohol isn't a licensable activity. It's the retail supply. So there's absolutely no need to that. That logic is deeply flawed. You would simply be, if you walked into the other business, if the plan had been done properly, you would simply have been walking off the premises with your alcohol. Anyway, so that remains completely nonsensical. We were then provided with, oddly, a second plan, which you don't normally see, and that included the entire area that has all of the shipping containers in it, plus the decking, plus potentially even the car parking area. This plan does not match the this plan.
No.
It's very, very, very strange. So those are two key points. There are a couple of other niggly bits on it as well. We're still waiting to hear back from licensing regarding a date for the hearing. The problem is that the legal window in which a hearing could take place has passed. A licence goes out for consultation, it has a deadline date, and a hearing has to take place within 20 days of that deadline date. And that window has long passed. I have no idea how licensing are going to sort this out.
So we're not withdrawing a representation. Sorry, we're not withdrawing a representation.
That's entirely up to you.
Well, this is.
Well, no, I'm still not happy about giving permission to the plans and things that are completely inadequate. I mean, it's licensing's issue, isn't it, about the timeline and everything as to how that's managed. It's not our problem, I don't think. No. So, no, I mean, do we need to vote that we don't change representation?
No, I don't
I
think
think
you
we
do. You just...
So I think we're just, yes, we've noted that. Thank you, Duncan, and watch this space as
All I
to
can
see
do
what they
is
can
all
do
I can
then.
do is follow it up. But I'm thinking that maybe we speak to somebody more senior than the licensing team manager, because that's who's responded to us. I have a
Surely
few.
unacceptable that the map doesn't match, the two maps don't
No.
match.
No. No, it's not. It's not great. I mean,
I've never seen an application where you've got the two different where you've got two different maps. Normally, all you need to do is just sort of draw the lines and put in the draw in the whatever the sort of fixed structures are within the within it. I mean, it's not rocket science.
No.
And this issue of licensing a business next door and then being told, oh well, that means they can't sell alcohol. I mean, that could be a flower shop. That could be.
Yeah.
It's basically it's wrong, and it doesn't meet the regulations of the Licensing Act.
No. Okay. Well, yeah. I trust. Is anybody out there? I trust they are not. They're not trading already as.
No, they aren't. But I have been told that they're now pushing for their licence. I'll follow this up with them during the week. Okay.
Have you got? Is there anything else that I can't see?
Yes. Barrow Boys.
Barrow Boys, right.
Just another update. We have confirmed our position.
Right. Yes.
With the licensing officer following the site visit of the 8th of July. Our understanding at the time was that we were instructed by the committee to have a site visit, and then we would go back for a sort of follow-up committee hearing. Yeah. So we're just waiting for the date for that to take place. That's the Barrow Boys application, was the one at the end of the road.
So Joe, I didn't. Are you aware of that, Joe, or were you away for that?
I think I was away.
It was basically they were selling donuts on Town Beach, and then Sandy and I and Duncan and licensing officer met with them because they went to sell donuts outside the offices here on the space on there where they wanted it, and we discussed it. We're not happy. We're not happy because they're having a van with a tailgate that's going to be picking up and dropping off where that's going to go. And that they wanted it directed opposite, so people effectively, they kept saying, well, people don't queue effectively into the road. And we're going, well, no, we want it to go the other way, that we need, and then the town council environment team turned up with their truck to water plants and things, so they're all getting in there. The bin guys turned up, didn't they? And they parked there to empty the bins as well. And we're still not happy about access for the ramp for emergency access for the car park, and for blocking view of traffic because it's just mayhem trying to drive down that junction with cyclists two-way, which cyclists did then come along, and pedestrians. So we discussed about whether they could set it further back and point it the other way towards the ramp so that the queue traffic. They weren't happy about that though. They still haven't provided an actual map, as far as I know, as to where it's going to go. That is not good enough. X marks the spot. It's what was it, 3 meters? Was it 3 meters square? Because it has a canopy over it. That in terms of scale of that is a lot bigger than 3 meters square. So we need an accurate position for it. So.
Can I make a point as well?
Yeah, go for it, Duncan.
That's the drop-off bay outside the Arc. That's entrance into the tram tracks. That's that drop-off bay outside the Arc and the Mix. Their plan is to, with a tailgate van, is to drop the handcart off every morning at 8 o'clock and then drag it against the flow of traffic into place, and then at 6 o'clock in the evening drag it, move it, sorry, I shouldn't say drag, I should say manoeuvre it back to that loading bay where it will be put onto the tailgate of the van and taken away. We were really concerned about that as well. I mean, to be honest, the past few days, you wouldn't have been able to do anything other than drop it in by a helicopter, to be honest. It's been so backed up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I've confirmed our position. We are waiting for a hearing date. I don't know when that will be. And the other one was Sahara City. We submitted an objection following our last meeting. Again, it's one with the plans. They provided architectural plans that have no indication that they're meeting licensing regulations whatsoever. The case officer has assured me that the plans meet the regulations. I mean, at the moment, the way those plans stand, if you were just to take each floor of that building as licensed, they've licensed the upstairs bedrooms for the retail supply of alcohol and regulated entertainment. I believe that there is a training issue within the licensing team, and I'm hoping to follow this up with perhaps the one of the more senior licensing officers. Anyway, we are waiting for a hearing for that one, because there were a couple of other little sort of niggly bits. Nothing that couldn't be overcome via a hearing by documentation, but that process doesn't seem to be happening at the moment, and I don't know why. That hearing is likely to be the 27th of August or the 3rd of September. You can do one of those dates, can't you, Sarah?
Yeah, I can.
But we don't know which it will be.
Yeah, I can't.
So Sandy, you might be.
I can't do the 27th, I'm afraid.
Right.
But was it that one? No. Sorry, which dates was it?
27th and the 3rd. The 3rd being a day of our next meeting, unfortunately.
I can't do either of those now because my diary's just filling up, and so I'm sorry. So I don't know if you'll be able to attend it. That'd be wonderful.
We can talk about that outside the meeting then, Sandy.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem might be, if I may, it's usually online, isn't it? And Sandy's not supposed to be doing online stuff.
Computer screens, no.
I mean, if he can attend in person, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that.
Right.
Okay.
If you could let me know.
Yeah.
If I've got to attend in person, obviously I'll go over.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that for you. Okay.
Thank you, Duncan. Right, number 9, previous planning applications.
We've got a bit of a list here.
No.
There were no 5-day protocols, but you've got a list of non-material amendments. Former Edgecombe Hotel wanted to change an exterior material. It's one type of stone for another, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
I only had 3 responses to that, but you all agreed to raise no objection. 54 Penmere Drive. Again, that was an external. I think they were going to render a section of the building that would have been brick. 5 of you responded. You all agreed to raise no objection to that non-material amendment. Ali's Retreat on Atlantic Road wanted to change their what was going to be a balcony. 6 of you responded to this, and the majority of you have objected to this. So I have returned that comment. Obviously, these aren't, whilst it follows a similar process, they aren't 5-day protocols. They're effectively, I go online and type in our response based on what you've come back with. And I have done that for Ali's Retreat. And then the other one was the Calacliff. It was a very minor change to a 2nd floor balcony. 5 of you responded, thank you. and you all agreed to raise no objection to that one. So it's just a vote to ratify the process has been followed for making decisions outside of this meeting.
Okay, so I'm happy to propose that due process being followed. Seconder. I think Margaret actually got a seconder on that one. All in favour of that? Yep. Wonderful, thank you. Great, right, actually on to planning applications. So I think, Duncan, you're doing the first one, aren't you, when you're dinging around? I'll just read it out. So application 1 is PA 2504940, land north of east of Tran Creek Cottages, proposed construction of 2 semi-detached dwellings. Thank you, Duncan.
I'll share my screen for this one. Okay, where are we? Oh, get rid of that. Right, so I'll start off with the map. Right, okay, Tren Creek Lane, just so that we're aware of where we are in the town. Just east of the Tren Creek College Park, and yeah, just off Tren Creek Road. Can you see that that looks like a pile of gravel? Yeah. It is, and that is where that's the site that they are looking to develop. I think I've got sort of like a partial street view, not much really. Effectively, this is Tren Creek Lane, and we are looking at development that's going to take place sort of the other side of this greenery here. Okay, so you just follow round to the left, and it's that area there. Okay. When I last looked at the application, there was only one comment. There's a consultee comment, Southwest Water, saying that the proposed discharge method is acceptable and meets with the runoff destination hierarchy. That seems the first time we've had one of those for ages, because they're normally not happy. So we have a location plan. So this is the blue line, obviously land owned by the applicant, and the red line being the area to be developed. The design and access statement is really useful here. Yeah, they're kind of, you can see they're on that little picture there. You can see the red line site quite clearly. Pages 4 and 5 were quite useful. Why was that? I'm just going to make that slightly larger. Yes, there you go. So you've got the site and its sort of location context. Then we've actually got some useful images. The entrance off Tren Creek Lane, the existing gravel on the site, and the rear of dwellings that are to the north. So these ones here at the top of the picture. Okay. Page 6 I've got down as being, we have some more useful images of the site. And then page 6, this is useful because this gives us some context of the proposed surrounding development, which we have touched upon before. I think last time we looked at it, it was to do with the roundabout access off the Newquay strategic route. We should be reasonably familiar with it. It's an application or a permission for up to 800 houses and 2 local centres, and the application site is just off this.
So it's almost an extension of.
It is almost an extension, and yeah, the design and access statement tells us planning is sought for the erection of a pair of 2-storey semi-detached houses on land off Trent Creek Lane. The land has been used for storage in association with Trent Creek Holiday Park. The site area effectively lies vacant and is superfluous to requirements for the holiday park. So effectively it's vacant land, and access would be, as we've seen, via Trent Creek Lane.
Can I just interrupt? Can I just look at the pointer on this? So is this a footpath that they've got coming through here?
Yes, I think so.
It is, isn't it? And effectively to link up with this bit here, is it going to go, it goes behind the houses, isn't it? It's the track that goes behind, isn't it? So they're not blocking the footpath, are they? No, they're to the south of it.
And they're not intending to access the site along Trent Creek Lane?
No, no.
That was a worry.
Yeah,
That's that track.
that's that track there, yes. Yeah, thank you. Just want to clarify that.
The interest.
We would have to, that would have to be changed under Section 73 application. They can't just not have 2 access points into the estate. They'd have to get permission to do it, is what I'm saying.
Yes, as I understand, that's what happened.
Okay, I will watch this space. Houses match each other, so that's the, well, let's look at the ground floor, let's do it the right way around. Yeah, so you've got your main habitable areas: kitchen, dining room, open plan living room, hall space, utility room for rubbish storage, etc. And then your first floor, you've got 3 bedrooms upstairs and various bathrooms. quite an uncomplicated. They are of a fabric first construction. There's a range of sustainable measures. It says, they say a range of sustainable measures could be implemented once occupied, including installing simple measures such as water butts to harvest rainwater, and they have a soakaway set up in terms of the drainage, which I expect is why South West Water were quite happy with them. That's the application.
So I haven't picked up any issues with this. I support it. I mean, it gives them, you know, they've got gardens, they've got parking, they're retaining the vegetation that's around there, protects them from the lane, from viewing in. They've got, you know, they've got the solar panels on that. If we can just put on about nest boxes, those nice big white walls that they've got on either side, you know, they'd be ideal for swift boxes at the top. And but no, I support this.
Do they say anything about the material of the walls? That's what I'm going to say.
I mean, it's got like it's got slate roofs. It's got the front of it is cedar panelled, wasn't it, for the porchy bits at the front. Looking at the they've got air source heat pumps. White render,
looking for evidence of render, white render?
Yeah. Yes, it says render finish.
I believe that is what
it has got render finish.
Where there isn't cladding, they are looking at renderings. That'll be the side of the building and the rear and some of the front elevation as well.
I have a concern about the render. I'd like them to think about it, because it's not too far away where on Trevenson Meadows, where they have those two white rendered buildings, which are now purple with decay. So white render does not work in this climate. So if they can look at some alternative, that would be good.
I think one of the issues is that very often it's painted afterwards, rather than painting
I want that
the
message to be really loud, that you know, we have evidence in the adjacent area of
rendered buildings.
Failing.
Yeah. Okay, Dan.
Otherwise, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's better than the gravel pit it is at the moment.
So do you want to make that no objection rather than support then?
No, I'm happy to do support and just say refer them to our policy and make sure that
render.
You know, with the evidence, local evidence suggests the problems that white render gives.
Has anybody else got any queries? No. So I'm happy to propose to support. Seconded by Sandy. All in favour? Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. Application 2 is mine, so I'll just so application 2 PA 25/05313 113 Mount Wise is a loft conversion. Wait for Duncan to catch up on. So there's no change in the footprint of the house at all. If we, so if we start just with location plan, just to clarify, it's at the top of the turning for where the fire station is. It's on the corner there. So it's like there's a street view. Yeah. We all okay? We know where it is? Yeah.
Which one is it? Is it this one
here? It's this one on the corner here. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that one.
Lovely.
And they've already got solar panels. So effectively, if we have a look at the existing elevations, brilliant, and it's going to be a case of spot the difference. Okay, so what you need to watch is that there's going to be a skylight appear, dormer window going to appear, and I think, because I looked at this a few days ago, I think this window becomes a bigger window. That's going to be about it. So then we look at the proposed. So there's there's the new a new skylight on the north elevation. So that's the road side that we've just seen the street view from. The other side, the south side, is going to have this window in here in the roof, and there's making this window at the side here larger. Yeah. Okay, so and what they're doing inside is that they're making a bedroom and a bathroom. They're swapping them around. So if we have a look at the existing floor and roof plan, and this is, it's not that one. They're not swapping them around. There's nothing. There isn't anything in the roof. And then if we look at the proposed, they are putting basically a bedroom up there. So, I mean, the stairs are already there, and then that's all attic space. So they're just making that, you can see the outline there for that's, the windows in the roof.
So they already have stairs going up?
I think they've already got stairs going up. Yeah, the stair, that's all right. Yes, they've already stairs to go up into the roof, which they just use for storage. So the stairs are already there. So really, it's just making one window bigger and then putting those two roof windows in the roof. And I have absolutely no problem with this. No.
They're not changing the footprint?
No, they're not changing the footprint at all. No. So I'm voting to support that. Seconder? Yes, Sandy seconding. All in favour? Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. I'm doing number 3 as well. This is PA 2505773. This is the 83 Chenance Road, so basically the green room dentistry. And if I refer to the pack that we've had, so since I've done this, the tree officer has put a report in for that. So basically, starting off with the application form, basically they have 3 trees which are diseased and or dying. Yeah, so that's the plan where they are. So T1 is a Lawson cypress. It's in decline, and they want to replace that with a holm oak. T2, which is there sort of semi in the hedge, it's quite difficult to access, but it's died from Dutch elm disease. They want to fell that and allow regeneration. So elm trees, they sucker and you get new ones coming up, so allowing that. And then the T3 is the big western cedar, and that has died as well. It's a really, really sad state. And they want to fell that, and they want to replant that with an ornamental flowering cherry, which I had sort of queried, and I was going to say about that I didn't have any problem with this, and waiting for the tree officer report. And if you look at what he's done, he's happy with that, but the cedar, he's been quite specific that it needs grubbing out because he thinks it's diseased, and yeah, the replacement trees shall be retained and removed. So disease. So he's quite happy with that, and it needs doing. So I'm voting that we support that. I don't think there's second. All in favour? Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I mean it's really quick, but there isn't really any issues with that. It's not. Yeah, no. I mean, I know which we have done in the past, but which, yeah, we have. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Right, and I'm doing number 4. So PA 25/05431, 112 Henver Road, Springvale Lodge. It's just down from the double roundabout. They want an existing dormer to be extended to provide increased headspace in the loft and reconfiguration of internal layout. This is the one where they're swapping the bathroom and the bedroom round upstairs. So if we just have a quick look at location and block plan, just to clarify, so there's the double roundabout. It has, there we go. There's no changing again in the footprint of that. If we just have a look at the street view. There's Sprigvale. It has there. So effectively, what's going to happen is this dormer here is just going to be extended. So it is. I mean, it is facing the front on the roadside. So if we have just a look at existing plans and elevations. There's where are we? Yeah, so there's the dormer at the front and the small one at the rear. And then if we have a look at the proposed, you'll see it's an extended. Do you want me to? Yes, can you? Yes, do sort of like, yeah. Yeah, so I think that this is extension actually at the back, and then it's extending, changing the windows at the front here. So no, you probably wouldn't notice apart from the scrapping going out. And then inside, if you scan around to the proposed inside, when I can just show you that. I mean, it's nothing because it has the plans on there. So basically, what they're doing up in the roof is that they're making on the previous one, current one, existing one. This is the bathroom and the bedrooms on this side, and they're just swapping it round. I think we're on the proposed, aren't we? Yeah. So. And it just gives them that headroom. So this box here, which has got a problem with the headroom, then effectively the extension of the dormer window gets rid of that. So they're just swapping them around. That's it. It's not, the views are already there. The windows are already here. So again, I'm planning to support. There's no big issues with this one. Seconder, Sandy seconding. All in favour? Yeah, wonderful. And we've dealt with number 5, Mr. Blackburn. So application 6, PA 25/05291. Ocean Hill Lodge, 46 Trelawney Road, change of use from C2 residential care home to C4 HMO. Duncan.
It was a residential. Yeah, quite
Yeah.
some time actually.
Yeah.
It's closed down.
Yeah. Which is can I just say, I think it's really sad that we're losing our residential homes with an ageing population. It's really hard.
And particularly that one because it was for dementia care, so
Yeah.
that was very specific.
And the reason that it's closed is just it can't sustain itself.
But when it closed, I mean, so I'm not certain that it's that we're given a date, but it's a former care home. That's all that we really know.
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
I don't know specific details.
Subsequently bought.
Yeah.
In terms of our policies on multiple houses and multiple occupation, is it near any other?
No, it isn't.
No, I didn't think it
No,
was.
it isn't. This isn't an area of the town that's particularly that has got many around it at all, to be honest.
How many rooms are they going to get out of it?
We'll get to that. Anyway,
You've
that's
been
the...
keen and bit, but do you want to turn it off again then, Joanna? We'll let Duncan do his.
First of all, the only comment that I'd seen was that the private sector housing team had no objection, but they've made a comment about the increase in numbers, and they would be expecting. I think they refer to a rule that says that they would be able to operate for a year before sort of kind of sorting out some of the finer details. Where is it there? It says the applicant has submitted a valid application. Currently, the occupation of 10 people forming 10 households is proposed. I don't think that's right, but anyway, although it is understood that they would like to extend the level of occupation if the change of use application is successful, I have a feeling that the Cornwall Council's private sector housing have maybe seen something to do with their HMO licence application that might differ slightly from this. The reason I say that is that we are told that the existing building is a former residential care home with 18 beds and communal living spaces. The proposed use is for a large HMO providing 14 bedrooms with shared facilities. And we are told the proposal therefore reduces the intensity of the occupation from 18 to 14 occupants. So I'm not quite certain why the public sector housing team are talking about 10 unless they've...
reduced it because they're double occupancy. So
Well, this is the point I'm going to make. The DNA statement refers to 3 single occupancy rooms, the remaining doubles. So in actual fact, that comes to, by my reckon, comes to 24 occupants potentially.
So
I might have done my maths slightly wrong. Yes, but it's it's considerably more. So the layout will provide 3 single occupancy bedrooms and 11 doubles, so 25, potentially 25 altogether.
I presume there was a management flat or something like that, if that's been incorporated within that and changed to accommodation then, I presume.
Oh, I saw there's an office. Okay. There is an office in there. Yeah, I mean, we would want a management plan.
There's not enough parking spaces.
No, we'll get on to parking. So.
Yeah, can we have a look at the location plan?
We'll have a look at the location plan first. So, I mean, it refers to the amenity space being this area at the front of the building, because they do the public sector housing team make reference to needing a suitable amount of amenity space. So it's this sort of kind of area at the front here. If we look at the street view, it's both of these buildings. Both of these dormer sections. That's the whole. It would have been 2 properties once upon a time, obviously, and they're referring to this space at the front being the amenity space. I thought, let's have a look. I thought that the design and access statement had a couple of useful pictures on page 3. Just let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. So we've got some images of the, an image of the rear of the building. They are going to take a small section off the rear of the building to allow for the car parking. If we go back to that location plan, is there a block plan there? There isn't a block plan there, right? There's a block plan. No, that doesn't really help us either, does it? Yeah, sorry, I'm looking for something that gives us... let's have a look at the proposed site plan. So that's in the middle there, that's the building, and they're looking to house 6 vehicles out the rear. The elevations, well, they aren't really changing. we do look at the existing site plan very quickly, I can just point out this bit here that they're removing. Currently, you'd have 4 parking spaces. By removing that, they create 6. There are no changes effectively to the exterior of the building other than that small single-storey extension being removed at the rear. The floor plans, I think they're worth having a quick look at. I can just sort of talk you through the main differences because there's a lot of information there. So that's the existing. The accommodation is on this sort of kind of section that runs parallel to the road, so east to west. At the ground floor level, that accommodates 8 bedrooms, 7 doubles and a single. This doesn't change. That's what's there at the moment. So that aspect doesn't change. The section of the building running perpendicular, so north to south, that's going to accommodate various main habitable rooms plus an office. There's very little change at ground floor level other than, as I say, the removal of this small bit here. And that allows for more parking and an external recycling stroke bin store at the back. You've got a ground floor level 4 shared toilets, 2 shared baths, 2 bedrooms with ensuite toilets, and one also has an ensuite bath. First floor. Thankfully, there are only 2 floors that we need to look at. So the existing, currently there are 9 bedrooms. This will be reduced to 6. There's no real change in the layout, just the repurposing of 2 of the bedrooms. So I think it's these 2 at the end, and they become a kitchen area and a dining room area, respectively. Upstairs you have 3 shared toilets and 2 shared baths, and you have 1 of the bedrooms has an ensuite toilet. There are 6 car parking spaces to the rear, 12 cycle spaces, and the front garden offers approximately 135 square metres of elevated south-facing outdoor space, we are told. What do you think of that?
Do you know
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go Margaret, then Joanna. Yeah.
Do we know how many are in the area? Because that's right on the edge of Trelawney. Trenance Road, Berry Road is very close, and there are a number in that area of HMOs.
I often produce a little diagram. I had a quick look on the register and I didn't see it as being an issue in terms of our, sorry, I should have spent more time and produced a little map. I didn't see it as being an issue in terms of our policy with regards to, I can't remember the exact wording of it.
Because on the corner, the escape, that's quite close. That's definitely a huge one. Where there's
that is, it's all about 1,500 metres. It's quite a long way.
Yeah, it's quite a long way because you've got to go around the corner, up the hill and
I'm
over,
just
isn't it?
asking the question because that's why we're here.
I had a look and I was satisfied that that wasn't that aspect of our policy wasn't an issue this evening. I do apologise that I can't actually visually show that. I should have done the work. Sorry.
Probably aren't registered then.
I hate the ground floor. Those string of featureless bedrooms.
It's not quality.
And then only, how many bedrooms is it? 8? Now they doubles.
One single.
Where are we? So you've got 7 double. Sorry, at the ground floor level, you've got 7 doubles and 1 single, which is
So that's
reflects the
15
existing
people.
layout.
They're all sort of laid out in a row, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you've got how many toilets on that ground floor? 4, was it?
No.
Let me go back to this. So you've got 4 shared toilets, 2 shared baths, but then you've got 2 of the rooms have ensuite toilets and 1 ensuite bath. So effectively, of the 8, you've got 6 would be sharing the 4 toilets, and 7 would be sharing the 2 baths. 7 of the 8, because 1's got its own bath. Does that make sense?
But that would be 14 people. We say rooms, but they're double.
I think that this is a bit of an issue, because they're talking about double and single rooms, and there seems to be nothing to say that a double room would only have 1 person in it, and I felt that needed some clarification.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first floor is slightly better, but it's the way it's laid out. It's not a home, is it?
No, for people, yeah. I mean, it was designed, as a care home in mind, not in terms of, people as their home as such. And so sort of potentially the living space, that's a lot of people actually to have in here, isn't it? I know it seems a big room and things. So which one's the kitchen, Duncan? Sorry.
So right, let me zoom in a bit. So the kitchen is at the back here.
So that galley
it's quite
kitchen.
a large space, but it's a.
But not if there's 2, 4, 6, 7. Using that space, that's not very. Yeah, that is not a big space, and so as they've got this as a lounge, because upstairs you had it that it was a kitchen and a dining room, not a living space. So yeah. So I presume. Sorry, this big room above it. What are these rooms above, Duncan? These ones here.
So you've got.
I can't see what it says. Sorry.
Where the cursor is.
Yeah.
Where the cursor is, that's an office space.
Right.
Beneath that is a TV lounge.
Oh gosh, so that's even smaller. Right. Okay.
11.6 square metres, and then I've seen that this is just a sort of an entrance space here.
Yeah.
Then you've got a bathroom going
Yeah.
sort of left to right along the bottom here. A bathroom. You've got the recycling bin store. Doesn't seem
What's
huge,
the big room?
I have to say.
What's this big room up here, Duncan, at the top? What's this big room here?
That is sort of a lounge dining room. I'd say open plan, but there are a couple of sort of stud walls there.
So
the top part is supposed to be a lounge, and the bottom part is supposed to be a dining room.
So this lounge then is meant to be catering for 24 people, we're presuming.
There is a smaller living room space upstairs.
Still crowded.
It is quite a small living room space, but but there is a space. So I mean, if you go back to that ground floor, where are we? You've got a TV lounge space. You've got that lounge space there, and then you've got quite a small lounge space at the first floor level.
I mean, in my mind, I don't have a problem with it becoming an HMO, but in terms of quality of accommodation, I do have an issue with this. I mean, student accommodation is better than that, because most of it these days is en suite. And I think they could have reconfigured this, that each room could have been en suite. I know somebody who lives on Bury Road, for instance, and all the rooms are en suite. So I'm not convinced that this is a suitable quality accommodation. We've got issues with the car parking. And
So if you were young people wanting to work in Newquay, would you jump at accommodation like this? Because it doesn't look to me like it's providing homes. It looks to me like it's providing temporary accommodation.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to live
No.
in something like that. But there is a need for people in youth.
Yes, there is. But I think it's sort of, it's not lending itself to the reputation of Newquay. And again, you know, my friend who lives on Bury Road, and it's ensuite, and they have a communal kitchen, and the couple that own it, you know, they come in and they provide salt and they clean the kitchen, and you know, it is a living space, and sort of. But this seems to be really just pushing numbers of people, profit maximisation, rather than actually, you know, because I think they've all got sinks in, haven't they? But, you know, these days, you know, all new, yeah, that's what those little semicircles are. So they've all got little sinks in. And we don't have a management plan for it, do we? We haven't put anything from fire for suitable fire sprinkler system and stuff like that, which is sort of like tends to be, you know, required these days for HMOs.
So fire have responded.
Oh, have they?
But that is correct, isn't it? Yeah. No.
Oh yes,
so,
no, they
so
have.
fire
Sorry.
have responded. It's on page 5 of your document.
Oh, it says it's compliant. Right, I take that back.
It's
okay.
Unhomely to me. It's not. It's not a place.
No.
But it might be suitable for young people who are trying to work in Newquay. But it's. I mean.
It suggests transience.
Yes. But that doesn't mean to say there isn't a need for transient.
No. Yes.
Transient accommodation. I think the amenity space is extremely small, which is one of the things we're looking at.
Yeah, for catering, for that I have considered.
And if you're talking about how many households is it? If sort of.
3.
I think I mean, for young people who are looking somewhere to live with, they're working in UK, I think it's fine. For the idea that these are going to provide homes for everybody is for the birds.
Could I draw your attention to the top of page 5, where it says the accommodation will need to meet, this is the public sector housing team, will need to meet Cornwall Council's current amenity standards for mandatory licensable houses. So, I mean, that suggests that it doesn't. I don't know.
Yes.
It may require
that,
further fire precaution works. I mean, the fire brigade are talking about water supply, but that's nothing to do with sprinkler systems.
No, it's not.
Well, we couldn't demand, well, I know we tried to say that all HMOs should have a sprinkler system, and we were told we couldn't do it, we could only encourage people to do it, because the law of the land doesn't require. If you're in Wales, it does, but in England, so we can't enforce that.
No, I think we should move to object to this and just cite the comments that are on page 5. And there is also likely to be additional objections in respect to the management of the property. I mean, it's red flag.
That doesn't sound like they're happy, does it?
No, there's three things there that they're unhappy with.
I think as I know, I mean, it's backing onto the school as well. Has the what are the boundaries like at the back there? Do we know in terms of wallage or hedging or backing on? Have we got a satellite image?
Have a look at the. See if we can get anything from this.
It just feels a bit grim, doesn't
It does. Yeah. I know what it's saying, and you know the assumption that young people are gonna
Looks
that
like
that's
a lot of
okay.
green, Sarah, at the back there.
Okay, so it's vegetarian, so that's not an issue at all.
Do we have any photos on that of the back? There's something with cars in there.
That's the road, that one.
And then this is what would be the rear.
Can you turn the car? Because you have to, if you go in.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of room there, isn't it?
Down the alley's a kind of difficult one to design.
Yeah, I mean, looking at those spaces, presuming they're to scale, there's quite a bit of room there. You could even have, yeah.
We've got a total of what appears to be 14 bedrooms.
So they've got 6 parking spaces. We would say on that, we want 50%, so they're only missing.
With about the amount of parking, really, and it is in the middle of town, and if for this quality of accommodation, there is more likelihood that, you know, parking won't necessarily an issue.
But I mean, it's interesting that the public's our public saying is give them a license for a year and see what happens, because I can see I mean, I cannot see this as suitable accommodation for proper households.
No.
But if you're just talking about young people coming to work in Newquay, then they'll be grateful for it. It's like a dormitory.
Yeah. But again, as I keep saying, it is not great quality accommodation for that compared to what you get as student accommodation these days.
No. It might need
I'd just like to say, we keep saying, oh yeah, it'd be great for young people. I don't think it would be. You know, you'd have, on that ground floor alone, you've got 15 people living in that so close to each other. Like you say, student accommodation are rarely doubles. That space isn't, you know, I know we can look, that looks like a big lounge, but you know, then if the others come from upstairs, come down, and just because there may be a need for accommodation in Newquay, doesn't make it right that we say, oh yeah, young people, because they talk about 10 households here. So, you know, Cornwall Council are looking at it as a household, as opposed to, you know, just a single person.
So they're saying they're asking for 10 people forming 10 households. How does that relate to the code?
That's what the public sector housing team is saying, but the plans are
Asking
quite.
for 25 people.
The plan suggests potentially 25 people.
There's a conflict.
There's something doesn't add up.
Yeah.
So we've got the 3 comments about the compliance with the HMO people.
Cornwall Council private sector housing.
That's it. There's compliance with Cornwall sector private sector housing. There's additional comments about the management and now we've got this incongruence between this thing to do with 10 people for 10 households and 25 capacity beds that we're looking at the plan.
Well,
so
they say that they're going to ask for more. That's what they appear to say. They sort of say they would like to understand the level of accommodation. Well, they're going to practically double it.
It almost appears that the public sector housing team have seen something different to what we're looking at, which is I don't really understand that, and I can't explain it to you, I'm afraid.
have we got enough to...
I think we need more information as well. I mean, I have concern as well with the neighbours and, you know, sort of, we want to see a management plan because, you know, if the neighbours on the other side are really close to effectively what's going to be their living room with, you know, if it's going to be 25 young people suddenly having a party, I can see there's going to be, you know, compared to a nice, quiet residential home that they've been used to.
There's a degree of separation.
Okay, there is
separation there.
But that's quite interesting. There's a back porch there, isn't there?
That's how you access it. That's the front door. You know, people go in that way.
Is it? I thought no. Can we have a look at the plans again? Yeah, sure. Sorry.
That's absolutely fine. We'll look at the existing.
So
that's that door there. Does that make sense?
Right, because I assumed
the front of the building.
Yes, and I assumed the front door was here.
I think it's these. I would have thought it's those.
No. I'm looking at the other side of the building. I was here underneath the fire escape.
It is very cramped.
There's an awful lot of access doorways into this building, because we've got the double doors at the front, we've got what we're thinking now is the front door at the side here, we've got the one on the other side, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 doorways from, well, that's being lost, isn't it? 3 more doorways then at the back. It seems a bit of a leaky building.
I've got a suggestion, which is,
Yeah.
do you think that the police architectural liaison officer should look at this? Because they normally look at those sort of kind of, you know, apartment blocks and the entrances for that. Because this seems like there's lots of ways that people who do or don't live there could get in
and out in terms of security.
And I could include that in the comments.
Yes, please. Yeah. So I think that needs to be in terms of how secure this building is going to be. That it seems very leaky at the moment and very unclear. Yeah. So, Margaret, do you want to make a proposal?
Happy to object. We're at odds with what Cornwall Council private sector housing are saying. They've obviously seen something different to what we're looking at. It clearly would have, you know, for me, people living in that would be like on top of each other. And
community space, I think, is the correct term.
no, but just in the bedroom.
It's an issue of density.
Just the bedrooms themselves, you know, you'd come out, you'd nearly be into somebody else's bedroom, and then the amenity spaces clearly are not enough. And it is as Councillor Thompson said, it is quite a quiet residential area, and prior to that, when it was a care home, that's a different sort of, you know, you're looking after older people. Yeah. I don't know if anybody wants to add anything else.
It's going to load the school.
Page full of comments here.
Yeah, okay. So
which I'm quite happy to work into your
second
response.
for that. Joanna's going to second that. All in favour for objection? There we go. Wonderful. Thank you. Right.
I don't think that you could have supported that with all the questions that you've got about it.
No. Application 7 PA 25/05667 23 Esplanade Road. Retrospective planning permission for retaining wall and creation of 2 off-street parking spaces. Oh, this made me chuckle when I looked at the photos for this. Oh, I think everyone, it just seems to be a free-for-all down on that lane. Anyway.
It is. It's what Councillor Hick referred to as the egg house, if I remember rightly. So here it is.
Oh, they've already done it.
They have. It's a retrospective application. So as per the description, this retrospective application seeks planning permission for a retaining wall that creates 2 off-street parking spaces at the front of the property.
Do you want to just move the image down a bit because you can see then the lay-by?
Yes, there you go. And that is the sort of footprint of it. If I'm just going to go, I mean, we don't need to spend hardly any time on this, to be honest. The design and access statement has a perfectly decent.
Stop it! Don't. Is this where you travel to?
Yeah. It's all very amusing.
Right.
Yes. I know.
The cinder blocks are already there.
There you go. So this is the space that they have created. The retaining wall has been constructed using reinforced block work and clad in oxidised copper porcelain tiles to complement the naturally planted hill behind and oxidised elliptical skin of the house above.
So where are the boulders that block the road?
Oh, they're much further up.
Are you going to say something else to do with it?
I don't think so. No.
Okay,
that's the space. That picture there, view 6.
Yeah.
I got very cross when they dug up that road. It was just a path and they sort of dug it out.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think
But
it's better than a drive going up a garden, which is what the next door house has got.
I mean, what they are arguing in this top left picture, they're arguing that if people are coming to the house they would, without this double parking here, they're having to come up this track that leads towards Camulus Way, and sort of kind of around the sort of side back of the property, whereas here they can just plonk themselves there and walk up these steps.
And
I don't know if that's the
what's-
Sainsbury's delivery man or
And that
what.
was how they get all the building materials in when they were building it. You know, they've used that as a road.
So what stops anybody parking there? Nothing. To me, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy that they have done this. It is their land, but the building regs wouldn't apply to this. Where are the drainage holes at the bottom of the wall? There's none. And having copper tile, copper coloured tiles is not in keeping with the landscape. We don't tend to have facing outside tiles.
Yeah, it's in keeping with the house, which is in keeping with the wall, which is in keeping with the
But they have eaten into the landscape, and they're just saying because it's brown, it's in keeping. But they have dug out the landscape, which is this a protected landscape?
No, it's not. And if you look down the rest of the street, all the other houses are also dug.
Yes, and they've dug out there. That's what I mean. It looks like it's been a free for all down here. So what? Well.
What's interesting about this one is the access from this way from the top, which that wasn't what was unusual. So if you go, have you got a street?
In another state of construction, but
Well, it was passed in the noughties in the first place, and then it's sort of
yeah.
been revived. But if you see the other.
Because the other properties got planning permission at the time of putting in the plans.
So does this building have a? Is this the only access to that building is from the front there?
No, it's from the top.
No, so you can
It comes down the top. It comes down Camillus Way.
So sorry, what is it? They
Yeah, somebody's. It wasn't them who did this. Somebody else dug out this path. It was a very narrow footbridge, and one of the other houses that was, as you say, free for all, dug up the path. I was very cross, but the Penthouse Association said not to worry, we'll manage it. It's one of the ones further along.
So
It wasn't this one that dug it up, but as you can see there, that's where the access to, that's, if you were visiting this house, you wouldn't get up from there. It's an awfully steep climb.
so they haven't got access where this dark rectangle is here? No. Yes. They have access from here. So sorry, why do they need this?
So they are saying the wall enhances the site's usability and minimises nuisance to the residents of Camulus Way while remaining in keeping with the surrounding area.
So sorry, so who is meant to be parking here? So they've just gone and created a hole in the landscape to accommodate friends because they haven't got enough parking room here.
I suspect if you go back to the original plans, which are a long time ago, is that they were going to do what the next door house did, which is, or the next door one, was going to have these massive great drives coming up.
But that's
what they have done, what they have discovered is that they didn't have to do that. So they have actually maintained, and I need to look at the original plans to see what they planned to do in the first place. I don't know if it's actually got it, because it's such a long time ago.
But
This thing was passed in about 2006, I think. And then it was a long time ago, yeah, and they got it passed, and then the architect, the father died and the son took over as the architect, and then nothing happened for 20 years, and now they've started again with the same planning permission.
Can I just say, the only access though for these buildings here is from here, then the lane. Yes?
Yes. There's a
But
lane at the
this
back.
has access from
Yes,
this side.
there is
So
a lane along the back there. If you
There is a
look
lane
close.
at the back of all of those.
There is a lane, but it's not really passable. Well, it wasn't
So
passable.
but these houses, this is their main access for this. I can understand them putting drives there and putting parking here. This property though, their main access is from the back.
Yes, I keep,
So-
but not their original planning permission. The original planning permission is they were going to do something like the neighbours, which would have taken out even more land. If I can find the original plans,
If they wanted to, they could build a driveway.
yes, I think so.
I'm just going to make a very quick observation. We do have a policy regarding the use of permeable surfaces for parking.
Yeah, well, it's just gravel, isn't it? So.
Well, is it? Or is it, is it, oh, that's no good, is it? Sorry, I'm going to the wrong place.
Yeah, it's just
Let's
gravel,
just
isn't
zoom in. That's tarmac.
Is it?
Is it not?
it? No, it looks like gravel to me.
That looks like well, it might be worth asking the question. That looks like tarmac to me because they've painted a line on it by the looks of it.
No, they've set that as the boundary of their property.
I think it's
This looks
probably
like an
NTC.
inset brick on that. That doesn't look like, because it looks like there's all gravel and stuff on top of it. It doesn't look like,
Right.
it doesn't look like tarmac to me.
Okay, I lied to you. The original planning permission was in 2002. Yeah, it's July 2000. Is it really? I've been going. And then they increased the size of the basement area in 2004. And then they did something else in 2000. No, that's so. If I look at the map, let's see what that's. See if they got any. They haven't got any documents. That's the problem. They're so old, these things. But I seem to remember that they had access from the lane, and they have chosen not to do that because they discovered that they could get at it from the top.
I don't see, I mean, in their statement they've got below that, how a wall increases the site usability. How does a wall increase the site usability? I mean, this is just, without causing harm to visual amenity or neighbouring properties. Well, I mean,
Look,
I think it's going to be a case of love it or hate it in Marmite. So if somebody wants to make a proposal on this.
I just propose no objection. If they've done it,
Is there a seconder for that?
we have some concerns about. Well, I don't know if what concerns do you have?
I don't think it should be done. So they're saying, oh, so it's all right. Oh, you can park down here, and then you've got to walk all the way around and up round the house.
Well, up through the steps in the garden, yes.
There are steps up. There is a pedestrian route actually.
Without being able to see the original plan, which is not online. That's the problem.
I mean, not knowing the design of the building, is there any possibility that this can be done as an Airbnb and that they're going to be renting out, and that's separate parking for that? I don't know. I don't like it that when people start carving out the countryside to go and stick parking spaces in it. And it's not got, so, I mean...
well, I mean, are you proposing an objection?
Well, we already have a proposal.
We already have a
of no
proposal, so
objection,
we need a
and
seconder
we're looking for a
for
seconder
that.
for that.
Can I just ask if we object, what happens?
I mean, at the moment, I've not got.
No,
I need something a little bit more concrete. I would like to have something a little more concrete to go
Yeah.
back to them with.
I would be interested in. To respond by.
And as Councillor Thompson said, there's no drainage there from that
For a wall, for a retaining wall.
wall.
You always put drainage in a retaining wall because water will build up behind it, and can, you can have slope failure. So having no obvious drainage from that, and with it, Normally a wall would need planning permission if it's in,
We've got the original plans actually up there.
Where are they, Joanna?
If you look at the postcode, mostly it's correspondence. In fact, it's all correspondence, so there must...
Are there no plans there? Because I can
I
have
don't
a...
know, they just keep saying planning, view planning document.
because I mean they're looking.
What's the last 3 digits, Joanna?
Sorry?
Last 3 digits.
Relax as a soft corner, new final
Do you put your microphone on, Joanna?
From the looks of this 2002 plans, they always did intend to come in from the top. Rear view from the end. The driveway from Camilla flows down to the garage from where it would be possible to push a wheelchair straight to the living area while negotiating any stairs. So they don't actually talk about what they're doing on the... It's a simple natural structure emerging from the slope to blend with the rich grass and rocky terrain of the Pentire Peninsula.
You see, and to me, copper tiles do not do that. Just from them saying it blends into the background because it's brown. No, it doesn't. It's not a blend. If I said to you, you know, show me anywhere else in Newquay that has tiled background wall to a parking space. It should be, you know, I haven't got a problem necessarily with the wood. I wouldn't have the problem with stone. But sorry, that does not, you know, because it's named Copper House or whatever it is, I do not think that blends into the landscape. Yeah, you know, they've done this. It's been pointed out retrospectively that they need planning permission for it. And are there other parking bays along there?
Well, yes, there are. There's big drives, and then as you get
Yes,
down,
I'm not worried about the drives. Drives are drives, but
you get down to the bottom.
parking.
The one that's 16 has got parking bays down there.
Go further down to the fencing.
Oh, 8 o'clock. Sorry, can I just put in that we have an extra, I'll put say half an hour, but it won't be that at all. Yeah, so seconded by Sandy, and we've all voted in favour of that. Thank you, Sandy.
So looking at this one here, I assume they would have got the planning permission when they did that, but actually the house is nearly on the road.
That is
very
the
different.
house. Yes, that is very different.
Well, it wasn't when they,
No, but assuming
But
they
it's
got
at-
planning
it's-
permission for that,
yeah.
they didn't just suddenly do it.
this one-
Yeah, and that's going up for garages there, isn't it? There's 3 garages there with drainage and block paving and everything. So there isn't an actual cut-in parking, is it?
the actual precedent is actually the Lewinick Lodge Drive, where they do cut in because of the Jamaica parking, passing.
Yeah, and they didn't get permission for that, and there was an uproar.
No,
Yeah.
they did.
Oh,
They got permission for that. They didn't get permission for ripping up the verge, but they did get permission for the parking, the passing bays, and they're quite useful.
Well, I'm still waiting for a seconder then on the no objection. Because I'm not seconding it, so.
It's only a symbolic thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna second this. Sorry, Joanna.
No, it's fine. I'm not breaking mine. I'm having a lovely time here.
This is an interesting.
That motion, that proposal failed.
Yeah, I was
I
just.
think, can we take it that the proposal failed?
Has
and that
failed.
We need a
Okay.
new proposal,
Can I
please.
just say, seriously, what do you think is going to happen? I don't mind you not supporting a no objection, that's not a problem, but effectively you're going back to the officer and saying, we're going to object because we don't like that, and he's going to come back and say, but compared to all the drives that go up the front, it's very minor stuff. So are you expecting me to call, I won't call this into committee.
No, it's not. No.
Call this into committee. I can tell you
Yeah.
now, I will not be calling this into committee. And if it went to appeal, I mean, even if he
Yeah.
agreed with you, went to appeal, we
But
did utterly ridiculous.
But I think this is the first time we've got a problem then with how, if we do not like something, then we can't actually support it because they do have us over a barrel. But I don't see why we should, vote for no objection. And in so many ways in supporting that, when I do have reservations that it does not fit into the landscape, and they've created a scar on the landscape. So I'm sure it will come back as 5-day protocol, and then we can actually say agree to disagree. So I am going to propose objection. If I have a seconder for that. Sandy's going to second that. We can vote on that. Joanna can then vote accordingly with what she's going to say.
Before we vote, can I
Yeah.
just make a comment?
Yeah.
So, Joanna, just picking you up on your the previous point that you said about what do you think is going to happen? Well, I mean, I think we all know what's going to happen, but that's not a reason for us to hold our hands up and say there's nothing we can do. Because I think in terms of our committee and the jurisdiction we've got, can I finish my point and then by all means come back? The jurisdiction we've got and the powers that we have in this small committee here, we've got a choice. We can either say, and I'm paraphrasing, effectively, the expression was, well, they've got us over a barrel, so there's nothing we can do, so we're not going to object, or we can actually take some kind of position on this and form a view about the fact that we don't like it for the reasons set out previously, and for that reason, I think that I'm inclined to move towards Sarah's proposal as opposed to yours. But please come back to me.
The only comment I would make is that this committee has a very good reputation for coming back with seriously well thought out objections. In my view, this one isn't, but that's absolutely, you can disagree with me. But effectively, I think this one makes us look silly, but that's just my view, my personal view. You don't agree with me, that's fine.
And that's fine, and no doubt it will probably come back as a 5-day protocol, and then we can choose to agree to disagree.
And in fact, if this had come in for planning, we would have objected. If they had gone,
Yeah.
but they bypassed the process.
Yeah.
If that had come into us
Yeah.
as a planning application, I think we would have sat here objected to it because the access was originally up the top. And therefore we would have objected, which is what we're doing now.
Yeah. Sorry, can I also make the point, because there isn't any control over that parking spaces then there's nothing stop anybody parking there, such as the camping community. So I think there's going to be encouragement of issues, but so are you okay with what I said in terms of rejection? I don't think it fits into the landscape. I think it needs to confine to building regs. I know which isn't part of planning, but they should have submitted building regulations to go in with this. And yes, Duncan.
I mean, all I want, before you vote, all I wanted to say is that what I've got written down is that we're concerned that there might not have been any drainage arrangement made for this retaining wall, and that we don't agree with their argument that it blends in nicely with the landscape. Was there anything else that you wanted to include in that?
And where the original planning, access and parking was right at the top and is still there.
You're disagreeing with their argument about usability, enhancing usability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Andy seconded, so objection? So 4 of us. No objection? Or abstinence? Abstaining.
I'm going to object to that.
Yes, yes. So rejection, one so objection to that, that's fine.
The egg house.
Yeah, we used to call it the spaceship.
I just remember former councillor Hick referring to it as the egg house. That's just stuck in my mind. I can't remember what we looked at when. Maybe it was something nearby that we looked at, because I can't see a recent planning application for it. No, it must have been something nearby that we looked at, perhaps. It might well have been, yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
so moving on. Terms of reference and risk assessment update, Duncan.
We've got no updates for this meeting.
Yeah. Yes, hello. In the gloom. Oh, shocking. Oh, it's like when they came on. When the lights came on after a disco, wasn't it? We must have looked hilarious actually sitting in the gloom. It's like, realise who you've been dancing with. Anyway. 12, reports and any associated recommendations from working parties. No.
Well,
we haven't done anything, have we?
We've got volunteers for parking, I think, and we've got volunteers for Nuclear Neighbourhood Plan, but I don't think anyone is planning to do anything about it until
September only, yeah.
September when the year really starts.
Yeah. Financial statement, you've been spending the family silver?
No purchases have been made, no payments to authorise. We continue to be quite cheap to run.
The correspondence?
Had no other correspondence.
Can we just say on that point that are we going to put on the agenda the next meeting then about how we're going to triage applications? Do you want to put in?
So under terms of reference.
Okay.
So, I'll fit it in somewhere. We are having a look at sort of having almost like a gatekeeping process to see what we do and don't look at. A lot of the town councils have got a list of planning applications, ones that they will look at in the meeting, ones that can be on block, just said, just not objected to, because and we're sort of looking at the possibilities of this. I know this committee saw a report in 2017 that Joe Kawecki wrote that was proposing something like that, and we've sort of been doing some work around that to see if we can sort of tweak that, and perhaps the goal is to make my life a lot easier and to maybe shorten the meetings. It's so that this meeting's fine, it's the ones where we've got like 16 applications and we just can't get through them.
Joanna?
Let me add to the fact that if you've have a target number. 7 is just about, we've yacked away a lot of things where we wouldn't have done if we do. But, once you're more, if you're only dealing with 5 or 6 applications, then it is worth looking at all of them, I would have thought. It's only when you've got 16 or 14 or anything over 10.
I think,
I could certainly take that back on board when I come back to you with something a little bit more substantial. I'm hoping to do that for the next meeting. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll discuss that next meeting. Brilliant, thank you. Other correspondence? Do we have a stampede of baggage?
We've got no other correspondence. We've just got some information items.
Okay, information items. So weekly decision list, I don't think there was anything of note particularly, was there, on there?
No, I haven't seen this last week.
There
were no new key decisions made at all.
No.
And then normally the list arrives on a Wednesday and it didn't arrive in time for this meeting. The only one that was interesting was 54 Hillgrove Road, which was withdrawn. We objected quite strongly to that. Yeah. And Cornwall Council obviously agreed with us. I think it was about the impact that increasing the scale and mass of the house is going to have on its
it really
neighbour.
stood out, wasn't it? Yeah,
We have had notification, it's not a consultation, it's a notification, the increase parking charges in line. Joanna might want something
I was going to say,
about
because
that.
I sent that to you. Yes. Has it actually come formally to the Town Council yet?
I haven't. Yeah.
It has. So
I believe so.
Didn't an email?
I sent it to you yesterday and said, can we have it on the agenda?
Didn't we have an email that came out? Did Jacob send an email out?
I mean, basically, it's saying they're going to put up they're putting up the charges by 6%, unless it's something like £1.48, in which case they're going to make it £1.50. They're going to round it up if it's and they say they do not need to consult because it's just cost of living rise, so they don't need to consult, so they're not consulting. So I just thought it was worth flagging up here that that's what's happening. So we're not complete. I don't think I've seen it come out anywhere else apart from Cornwall Council. And I was wondering whether it might be worth just circulating, just pointing out to the Parking Working Party that we've not been asked to consult, and that's why we aren't scheduling a meeting to discuss it.
I don't know, I'm going back through emails, I can't...
I'll double check tomorrow.
I don't think they've told us.
I'll double check that tomorrow. If they haven't, is there something that you want me to do?
Well, perhaps circulate, because not everybody...
Circulate your email.
Email. So the members of the Parking Working Party, who are not all from this committee,
right,
and say we are aware that this is happening, but there is no consultation, so do we feel it necessary to have a meeting? I mean, I'm going to propose it's not necessary to have a meeting because there is nothing we can do. This really is what we can't do.
It's done and decided, isn't it?
I just want the Parking Working Party to be aware that this is happening.
Yeah.
Instead of reading it in the Weekly Voice, which I think it was in the Weekly Voice today, or it might be.
Perhaps maybe that's where I've seen it. Okay, wonderful.
We have a couple more items.
Sorry, Duncan.
So, a consultation arrived today. I'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting on the 3rd of September, and that is a speed limits TRO for Nansledden. If anybody wants, I'm quite happy to share that now or tomorrow, if it's helpful for you to have a look at it sort of sooner rather than later.
If you could circulate.
And then the other information item is that we have a new committee member. Dr. Lamorna Spry was co-opted at the last full council meeting. Yeah. We had a vacancy, and she's going to have to fill it. This means that we will be losing Councillor Hubbox as a substitute. We will only have 2 substitutes.
So Lamorna is going to be a full member, not a...
Oh, she's going to be a full member because we've a vacancy. And I think that vacancy was kind of mitigated by giving us 3 subs, but we're going to lose one of those, Councillor Hubbox. And so we will have a new full voting member, and there's a meeting scheduled with her for this time next week. I think Andy's going to meet with her, and I'm going to sit down and have a chat with her about planning and licensing as well.
Brilliant, Will's mum.
Yeah, not certain when she'll first be able to arrive, but it's yeah.
So we're looking for the next meeting, Duncan?
How long is a piece of string? I have 2 at the moment.
Oh, 2, marvellous.
And I've got another.
Okay.
I've got another non-material amendment to send you. I'm sorry about that. It's all
Okay.
about non-material amendments.
Okay.
And the dates are so short, and I've got another one that we'll have to do by email, I'm afraid.
Raise one point about non-material amendment with the non-material amendment for Hotel California, which was the green roof to the bat houses. Now, my objection to a non-material amendment was they didn't send us a map or any indication where these bat houses were. I have heard from the planning officer, Steve Kirby, saying that they're actually a couple of sheds down the hill, and I don't think you can actually see. The roofs from the. But my objection to it was that, you know, if you're going to have a non-material amendment, you know, at least show us what you're amending, as opposed to sending us a map which actually excluded the things down there. I don't think they're sort of saying it's. Looking at, they've now sent us a photograph. Is it worth? Have you seen that, Duncan? That picture?
No, I haven't heard anything more about.
Okay, I'll
anything more about that since
to
we.
you
Since...
and to the committee. I think what they're arguing is quite reasonable, but it's. What do we do? Do we object to it on the basis?
There was the kayak house at the front, and it was the bin store at the back.
And they never told us where the.
What they've got the new roofing material is going to be.
Well, they never told us where the huts were or anything like that. So we haven't had a 5-day protocol. Oh, interesting.
We can wait with bated breath for that.
Yeah, I'll go send it to Duncan.
Okay. Wonderful then. So next meeting then
Can I
is...
just ask a question before we
go.
go?
Yes, go on.
Lots of people keep asking me, where are we with the Bristol Hotel and that development? Is there somebody we can ask? Because we don't know what they're actually planning.
Yeah, go on, Joanna.
Yeah, well, what we're doing is we're setting up a derelict building working party. It was supposed to be next week, and then everybody's on holiday. Everybody said they could make it, and then they said, oh, by the way, we're on holiday. So they are rescheduling it. I suspect if the MP was going to come, so I think that's the time, and it's exactly the right question, this derelict working party. What we're looking to do is to talk to Cornwall Council and we can say to the MP, tell us what's going on. If we have a query, we want to know who to ask.
Because I think can we expand it so it's derelict property, because John Fitter today brought up an informal CAT meeting about the Whipsey site, and that is one of the main gateways into Newquay, and it looks like a bomb sitting.
The first thing that the working party or the meeting will do is establish a terms of reference. So we're including Whipsey area, as long as it stays there.
Land. So I mean, if the site's cleared and, you know, if the Bristol's demolished, fenced off, used as a temporary car park, it'd be a lot better than what's there.
What meeting was that he raised that at?
It was the informal CAT meeting. John and the town clerk for St Agnes attended this morning. Anyone was welcome from the CAP. It was out there. It was. Right, okay, date of next meeting then was the Wednesday, the 3rd of September, and look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you ever so much. Good evening.